My name is Jason Simmons, and I'm running for Forest Hills School District Board of Education. The reason I'm running is because education is my passion. I'm a career educator. I'm a professor at the University of Cincinnati in the Sport Administration program. And Forest Hills is our home. My son is a student in Forest Hills School District. And I had concerns following the 2021 school board election about the candidates that were elected bringing political ideology into the school board. Politics have no place in local elections, and decisions should be made in the best interests of our students. And so the values, or the rhetoric rather, that was coming from the school board didn't align with my values or the values of the community in which we wanted to raise our son. And so I felt the need to do something. So this is me doing something.
In terms of why I'm running, I'm really passionate about education. You don't get a doctorate in something you're not passionate about because it takes an awful lot of work. But I'm passionate about education, and I'm passionate about Forest Hills. We moved here about 20 years ago, knowing we wanted to raise our family here. We moved here because of the schools. And we've had a great educational experience for all three of our kids. We have nothing but positive things to say about the learning opportunity they've had, and I have great respect and appreciation for all of the teachers in Forest Hills. I had the opportunity to work in the district for about 8 years, so that also brings a different perspective in terms of relationships and understanding of some of the different components within the district. Because of all those pieces, I want to be involved. I want to be involved in making sure that we are thriving as a district, that we're providing rigorous, relevant, research-based educational opportunities for all of our students, and that we're doing it in a fiscally responsible way, of course, but there are just a lot of pieces to look at. And why now? To be honest, 3 years ago, I had never really thought about becoming involved in school board or any kind of campaigning, but I saw public education starting to come under attack for manufactured problems, things that weren't really happening in the schools. And I felt compelled to come forward and try to figure out if I could make a difference, because I don't want to see our schools become a political pawn. At the end of the day, I want the focus of decision making to be on what's best for all of our kids.
This is a complex issue, and it's multi-layered. I think the first thing that we have to keep in mind is that the state of Ohio only provides our district with about 26 to 27% of what we need to meet our budget demands. The rest, the state puts the onus on the community to provide funding to support their schools. And in the case of Forest Hills School District, that's a levy. There's additional legislation that prohibits any additional funds being collected from a levy to account for inflation. So as the years pass, the amount of money that we are collecting from the levy remains static, but costs to run the school district increase. Salaries increase, the cost of benefits increase, gas for buses, technology needs. So over time, we start running into deficit spending, which is where we were prior to the most recent levy. Unfortunately, levies are one of the school levies are one of the few things that taxpayers get to vote on how we want our tax dollars spent. And I don't like my taxes going up any more than any of you do. But it just speaks to the importance of electing school board candidates that are willing to work with their district representatives, willing to work with members of the General Assembly in Columbus to provide solutions to this model to ensure fair funding for public schools in our state.
The funding model really impacts the Forest Hills School District, and putting aside the fact that it was found unconstitutional by the Ohio Supreme Court over 20 years ago, and the state legislature hasn't fixed that, it is really important to understanding school funding and levies, to understand school levies and how they work. So first of all, I think it's important to recognize that if we don't like the school funding system, that needs to be advocated for at a state level, because that's where the issues are. And as a school board member, that's something I can do, is advocate to make those changes in school funding. We also have an award-winning treasurer in the district who has presented on school funding several times at board meetings. So if you're looking for more information, referencing those is a great place to start. But here's the one thing I think is most important to understand. The day we pass a levy as a district, the raw amount that our family, because of our property tax, gives to the district stays the same year after year. It's that raw amount. The percentage may change, but the raw amount stays the same. So let's say, just as a random example, that the Biederman house, after this levy that just passed, now pays $600 in property tax toward school funding. Well, next year, expenses go up in the schools. Gas prices go up, electricity goes up, salaries go up, whatever the case may be. And I feel like I hear a lot of business people look at this model and say, oh my gosh, every 5 years, the district seems to be going into the red. They must be mismanaging money. This isn't a mismanagement piece because you've got this differential. And as a school district, as a business, the response would be to raise the cost, raise the price of your product. We can't do that as a school district. The way that happens to make a difference in this gap that has started to be created after 3, 4, 5 years is to go back to the community and ask for a levy to reconcile that difference. So if you understand that piece, you start to understand why levies are just a part of the current system that exists. But not liking that means you need someone who's going to advocate for change at the state level.